Welcome in, everyone, to episode 126 of Instigate Success, building an ABA franchise, the official podcast of your Hoosier State Instigators. Thank you, as always, for joining us Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, here streaming live for, well, we're scheduled for the next hour. We'll see how long that goes. But it is May 29th. We are almost in June, almost halfway through 2026. And we are in the off season still. We're a couple months into the off season at this point. And we still got a few more months left. So we're going to be ramping some stuff up hopefully here in June. You'll be seeing anytime we have some announcements, we'll talk about it here on the podcast. We'll also have it over on the socials. But I would anticipate with the discussions that we've been having that in June, we're going to have at least some, announcements, I'd say, for the upcoming season, the 26-27 season for the Instigators. We just wrapped up season 3, so we're going on season 4, which is crazy to think about. Um, I mean, to be at 3 seasons was a big jump for us. Really, that was uncharted territory for a lot of us, being from the fan controlled side. That lasted the 2 seasons. We just finished up 3. Now we're looking to go on 4. But yeah, I think probably in June I would expect at least some kind of announcement. If not, a tryout during June, I'd say the announcement should be posted here in June. We're getting close to finalizing that type of stuff, but you guys will definitely hear about that on the stream as well as over on the social medias. And we're once we have that all finalized, we're definitely going to be blowing that up. That is where we get the, we say majority, but I mean, realistically, that's where we're getting everybody that's been a part of the Instigators franchise is through that trial process. Obviously, we do have returning players as well each and every year. So we'll sooner or later have those announcements. Typically, I think we do like to have the tryouts first. That way, we can kind of have, some judgment as far as what we've got. Um, Maybe I don't know. I think maybe last year we had returning players first. I'm not 100% sure. I'll look into it, but I'd say around the same time we'll probably have announcements with some returning players as well as the tryouts for this upcoming season. Um, I would expect for us to probably have about the same number of tryouts as we typically do, which is around 3. Sometimes it's a little bit less, a little bit more. I think we're probably aiming for about the same. Um, Maybe less depending on how many returning players we got. We had a pretty good roster last season. um so we are going to try to be keeping a lot of those guys. So I think that's also going to factor into it. We're at least going to have the one. Um and in case we don't have another one, whenever we have that first one, I'd highly encourage everyone that's interested to go out to that first one. And the benefit of that, even if you don't get the roster spot after that first one, if we do have a second one, you're already going to be familiar with the team, and that gives you that little bit of a boost there too. And then we always keep a few people on call, so the more familiar you are or we are with you and vice versa, that does help as well. But my anticipation would probably be we might be on the lower side. We might be at 2 tryouts this year. Um, Depending on how many returning players we have. So it's ultimately going to come down to that. But it's always going to be, we want to have the best talent pool possible, and the way you do that is by having the tryouts. So that's kind of the upcoming news we've got for the Instigators. So keep an eye out here as we jump into June for that. Um, and then obviously any announcements with player returning, we're going to have those signing announcements as well. But I think roughly in June we should be seeing some of those, both of those, one or the other. But I'd say we're going to see something of that nature here in the next month. So keep your eyes out for that. We'll continue to post some of these shorts that we've been posting here, cutting up the highlight reels. The dude that does that has been slacking. He's been doing some other stuff. So I'm gonna get on him for that. But we'll have more of those, and as I've mentioned each and every week that we do this, if you guys have specific like highlights that you're looking for that you remember from the season, you can let me know and I'll be able to cut that a little bit easier. And then also the types of highlights that we're doing. If you guys prefer like more of the traditional just highlights, that's it, cut and dry. If you like the stuff that we've been doing, the add-ons, the effects, the sound effects, all that type of stuff, let me know because obviously I want to focus on what is important to our fans. I want to make these highlights, how the fans want to see them. So you can always let me know. You can comment on the videos themselves. I'll definitely see it there. You can comment on the videos, whether that's on YouTube, on the social medias, or you can always just like DM us too, and I'll be able to see it too, one way or another. But you can let us know, so that way we can focus and try to narrow down what we're posting to what is effective and what people want to see. So that, as I say each and every week, you can always, if you can reach out to me. I don't care. You can reach out to me directly too. But let us know as far as that goes, and then we'll continue to be posting that stuff. I'm sitting on a bunch of footage that I've cut, and I just have to put it together. So that's for the off season. We'll have more of that. My goal is hopefully like once a week to get one of those out. Um, so we will see on that. As far as other things, we've got, we're always pretty open on this show. So why not, give a little inside knowledge here? We always like to do that. So we had somebody reach out to today, which honestly I should have been in touch much more often. But somebody we worked with in the past, and I think we're going to be working with them again here in the near future. Um, but looking on doing that, getting some stuff finalized, and hopefully back together here in the next couple of months. So we got that coming together, which is awesome. So working on that. As far as what we're looking at, let's see. So June, I'm gonna say keep an eye out for like tryouts, announcements as far as player signings. July, we are planning on, this is actually kind of what I was referring to, trying to run things back with the Lucas Oil IRP race, with the Arca Menards race and the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. So that is, might as well just jump over there for a minute. Share that. But we're going to be working on that. So hopefully, you guys can see us at the event again this year. We had an amazing time last season with all the fans that came out that we got to see and interact with. Even though it's a different sport, we still had great interactions, and we had a lot of commonalities. I feel like between especially Arca. With Arca, a lot of us, kind of trying to build your own from that, kind of like how we do within the ABA. We've got a lot of guys that try to build their own, and we had a great time interacting with not only the fans but also the teams and everybody out there, at the event. So hopefully we're back out there again this year. But as I'm trying to keep you guys updated month by month as we are in the off season until I believe probably October. That's when the season will start back up. You can plan out your there you go. July 24th, 2026. That's what it looks like as far as when you guys have to plan for that. So, yep, that is it. July 24th, that Friday is going to be the double header event, the Arca Menard Series race, followed by the Trek Series race, all scheduled for that same evening. And then all throughout the day, as it gets closer, it'll have the more detailed breakdowns of practices, qualifying, etc. Um, for the event. Um, but last year, like I said, we had that spot there. We also had the spot at the venue, Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, for the Halloween Fest. So we've been out there a few times, and we're looking to do that again this season. And last season, if you guys remember, we let you vote on which logo and where to put the logo on Brayton Laster's car. We're working on something. We'll hopefully do something similar to that this year, but we are planning on being involved with that whole event again this upcoming um, racing cycle season, whatever. And I think we're going to be working on getting on the car again with Brayton. The first ever celebrity player in Hoosier State Instigators history. So obviously we got to stick with our guy there, and we'll have that for you guys here once we get a little bit closer. But we're working on that on the back end. So there's a little bit of inside there. And speaking of Brayton, I figured I might as well share with you guys his schedule in case you guys are interested in following along for the ARCA races that he has on his schedule this season. Um, I think that should, yeah, pull it up here. So his ARCA schedule, he's running a part-time schedule this season after running full-time with Wayne Peterson last year. He is going to be running part-time with a split between Wayne Peterson in the '06 and club racing in the '86. He has these on the schedule so far. So he has had one so far with the Kansas race. He's got an upcoming race in June. So that's in just a couple of weeks. He's got that Pocono race June 12th. So you can keep up with him on that one. Trying to keep you guys with some content to keep you entertained throughout. And then in July, he's got a pretty heavy schedule there. The 4th of July weekend on July 3rd, he's racing out in Chicago at night. He's going to race the following week, July 10th at Lime Rock. And then Indianapolis, the IRP race, as we just talked about, on July 24th. So we'll be working on something with him there. Springfield, August 23rd, so about a month off there. And then in September, he rounds out the rest of his schedule with DuQuoin, Salem, and Kansas. So that is what he's currently got on the schedule. Obviously, depending on if things come together and he can get some more races. Obviously, we'd love to see that as well. But that's what we've got. So in case you guys want to keep that marked on your calendar for the upcoming races to keep a track on for Brayton in the ARCA races for that. But that's kind of what we're working on and keeping you guys updated with some content to stay up to date with. But that's what we've got coming up here next month and the month after, I'd say, as far as the next couple of months. So Trouts, signings, returning player signings, and then keep an eye out for the IRP stuff. We're definitely going to be doing something with that. And I will say one of the really cool things, I think this is kind of a flex for any Brayton fan, I would say. You can actually get an official Brayton Laster basketball jersey, which is an Instigators jersey, and wear that to a race, and you're actually wearing an official, jersey of your favorite driver as a basketball player. I don't really think that I'm aware of any other basketball player, or well, I guess race car driver that is or has been a professional basketball player too. Obviously, got Michael Jordan with 2311 Racing. He's an owner though. That's different. So maybe we gotta somehow get our paths crossed with that, in 2311 and get Brayton somehow and with a 2311 ride, but that'd be crazy. But anyways, that's one of the cool things is if you go to the race, it's in July. I mean, I'm in Florida, so it's really hot here in July, but I'm sure it's hot up in Indianapolis in July too. So you could probably wear a basketball jersey to a race, but that'd be cool. But yeah, so that's what we got coming up here in the next couple of months. Um, let's go over. I just seen this actually. I just decided to go on the website to check out the ABA just to see if they ever update anything. They did. So let's take a look at the ABA site. All right, I think you guys can see this. Yeah. As you can see, it's completely redesigned. This is a brand new website for the ABA. A lot more streamlined. As you can see on here, it's got the tabs at the top that kind of break down everything a lot nicer. So your ABA rules, in case that's one of the biggest things I feel like, um, we have issues with as far as when it comes to refing, but we're not going to focus on that. But anyways, the ABA rules. So here you get 7 seconds for mid court instead of the 8. You got players foul out after 7 fouls. So there you go. That's a little bit different. Half court shot, we all know it's the 4 pointer. The 3D light explains that. Then the overtime rules. This is again, I'm not gonna hound on the refs here, but this is really nice. So that way, when we go into overtime, we can actually just go right on here and be like, hey, this is on the ABA site. That's the rules. Oh, okay, cool. But so overtime, 3 minutes, starts with a jump ball, one timeout. Fouls don't carry over. Again, that go back to that seventh foul. They can return in the overtime. And then this is also different. So players foul out after 2 fouls in an overtime. And then the team fouls is also different as far as the free throws and whatnot. And then in double overtime, it's an elam ending. So if you've followed us throughout, you know why I'm saying that. So, anyways, let's go back. All right. So yeah, so you got this. If you're interested in all of that, you can go on the teams. It breaks down the regions, which is actually pretty cool. Let's see this. I haven't experimented with this. It's got all ABA breakdowns, central region. It's got the oh, that's cool. It's got the links for all the teams now, which is awesome. Can check out the teams. Oh, there's us. You can check us out. Um, but yeah, this is a lot nicer website they've got on here. You can go to your stats. It's going to jump over to the My Stats Online portal. You got your playoffs. Actually, this is cool. Let's see how far back this goes. So past champions, it goes. Wow, look at this. Let's see how far back this goes. All the way back to 2000 when it came back. That's cool. Actually, let's see. Doesn't do anything. But yeah. So Detroit Dogs all the way through to Austin Bats here recently. You take a look here. So you got the Austin Bats in the South, but then you go the years prior. You got the Chicago Fury 2 times back to back. Indiana Lions. Obviously in the Chicago area there, and then Indianapolis. Then you got the Steel City Yellow Jackets, who took us out this year. But then you got a long stretch here of the Jacksonville Giants. It looks like Jacksonville Giants and the Mavericks going back and forth for several years. So interesting to have some click that, but have some history there with the ABA. That's kind of cool. You go to Central Region, gives you a breakdown of the past seasons. As you see all that. And then you got your news, and you can actually submit your own news there. Um, but yeah, it's a lot more streamlined, a lot nicer, straightforward. You can see here, everything's all kind of put together, very nice here. You got your updates with new teams, whatnot. You want to buy tickets, and then the teams from the championship round, and then 2027 we are going to Vegas. So that's where the championship's going to be played. Which actually, now that I say that, we had a former player that had been trying to convince the ABA to have the championship in Vegas for years. Might as well just say it. It was, if I'm not mistaken, AB. So wonder if he's interested in trying to get to the championship out in Vegas this year. Um, but anyways, that's what the new site is. So a lot more streamlined, a lot more straightforward. And you can see here they actually have some scheduling up on the top. And you can see that might be a little bit of a leak as far as some of that goes, which jumps over to our next thing. The Nashville Aces actually put out their first version of their schedule. So the schedule that is tentatively scheduled for the 2026-2027 season. So we're actually going to jump over to their website, and their website actually they just redid that as well too. So if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, I think Minotaur Media is actually helping with a lot of these redesigns with the websites. All right, so we're over on the ASOS site. Yeah, and this one I do know actually is for sure. That's definitely a part of the Minotaur Media helping with this. But they've been amazing with the stuff that they've done, and as you can see, it looks like they did a similar streamline here. Makes it very easy to navigate through and go through that. But you can see here. So here's their schedule. Very first one. You got the Instigators on there. That's a leak right there. Instigators on October 17th. On That's a home game for us, a road game for them. Um, let's see. So that is going to be October 17th. That's the third weekend in October. Okay. So what we're looking at right now would be that. It looks like that's our first. I'm guessing that's our first game too, but it's definitely on schedule to be the Aces' first game. Then they've got a couple of Indiana teams to start off the season. Actually, a few Indiana teams to start off the season. You got us. You got the Naptown Pirates, also in Indiana, in the Indianapolis region. The next day, and then the Indiana Lions take on the Aces at home to wrap out their October schedule. Um, Now this is crazy. They've got some ridiculous travels scheduled. If this is actually what that is, they've got games, back-to-back games in November in San Diego, So let me pull up the maps here real quick because if I'm not mistaken, San Diego is a bit of a drive from Nashville. So let's just do the general region of San Diego, and we're gonna travel from the general region of Nashville. All right. So if we were to drive that distance, it's loading. It's about 2,000 hours, and it's about 29 hours. I said 22,000 hours. It's about 2,000 miles. It's about 2,000 miles and about 29 hours. So just a little bit of travel, you know. I would assume they're going to be flying. There is no way. I mean, man, if they're driving that, man, that's crazy. But as far as I can tell you, our scheduling, and this is an inside knowledge here, we're not, as far as I know, unless something drastically changes, we have nothing scheduled in California this season. So to all of our California fans, I apologize, but yeah, it's crazy. I didn't even realize that when I looked at that earlier, but yeah, so that'll be fun. And then the next week they're gonna be back in. Or I shouldn't even say back. They're not going to be back. They're going to be on the road again in Louisville against the Pros, a familiar team that we've all seen. And then they've got a home game the next day in Tennessee, Nashville, obviously. So a lot of road travels for them that first couple of months because then it looks like the weekend after they're going to Atlanta for a doubleheader weekend there in Atlanta against the Aliens and the Strong Steppers. And then the following week, they're going to Ohio on the road against the Middletown Maulers, um, which interested in seeing this now. But yeah, so it looks like they've Middletown Maulers is a new team for that for their division. Although I think they may be a familiar team depending on how things play out. But we'll see on that. Um, Got that. Then in December, they do have a couple of home games there. Chattanooga Strike come to their hometown. They stay in Tennessee, actually, then, on the road against Knoxville. Then it looks like we've got a December 12th game scheduled against the Aces. And the Aces, just a reminder for everybody, the Aces were one of the top teams in the nation last year, one of the top four teams, and they only lost one game. They were undefeated all throughout the season. Their only loss came in that final four. So December 12th is a Saturday. So Saturday, December 12th. And then they play the Lions just before the holidays. Then in January, they've got a road trip again down to Mississippi. So they take on the Silverbacks there. So you got a lot of travels. Would not be surprised if you put together the map as far as distance travel that the Aces are going to be the highest number of miles scheduled for the AA this season. Then it looks like they got a few more games on the schedule right now for February. Um, a couple at home against the Atlanta teams, and then the one in between against Chattanooga on the road. But that's what they have. I think they're really the only team out at this point or the only team that has put a schedule out so far at this point for their 2026-2027 season. So that's why we're focusing on that for right now. But obviously, coming off of the season they had last year, they're probably going to be favorites in Well, just about any of those games, I would say. Really, I mean, they're a very very good team, and I would assume they are going to have a lot of their guys um, that they can get back on the team. Um, and you can see there their all-time records 53-8, and they've only ever had one home loss, which is actually pretty crazy to see. And yeah, like I said, Minotaur, I had an idea that they were behind the new website design there. So nice job by them redesigning that. But yeah, so that's what they got coming up, and you can see. See but yeah, that's got them playing against us for the first game of their season. But yeah, so we're still working on our scheduling. Obviously, I guess those were our first two leaks of the scheduling as far as that goes. So the October 17th home game for us against the Aces, and the December 12th road game for us against the Aces. Those, I guess, are our first leaks as far as the scheduling goes. If I knew a little bit more as far as what else we've got on the schedule, um, I would share it, but that's what I've got so far. And that's how it goes as we get further and further and closer. Build that roster up too. We'll have more info and be able to get more games scheduled. Um, just a reminder, we're in that, what is it, blue division now, I believe. Yeah, so currently they've got us in that blue division, which is mostly Indiana teams now. Even though it was not Indiana teams to start, now it is mostly Indiana teams. Um, so you got us, obviously. You got the Indiana Legends, the Indiana Lions, and the Indiana Shuckers, as well as the Naptown Pirates. And I'm not 100% certain where Gem City is, but there's the Gem City Sabercats are a new one for this season, as well as the Port Huron Wolves, but they're up in Michigan. But then you got your Akron Aviators in Ohio, and the Steel City Yellow Jackets, the defending champions of the division in Pittsburgh. But yeah, so that's what you got as far as. Ooh, we're gonna do this actually. I was gonna say that was all I really had planned. But look, I found a new feature on the. Let's see, I have not tried this, so let's see. I just clicked this by accident. So I'm over on the teams page, right? So this is on the new ABA site. You got your divisions. There's a thing here that says chat with AI. We are gonna see what happens if we put that the Hoosier State Instigators are the best team in the ABA. That's pretty cool. Look at that. Thanks. We love the Hoosier State Instigators enthusiasm. We highlight team achievements, schedules, and fan events across the ABA so supporters like you can try to follow. So show me their schedule. I wonder how this works because we don't have our schedule yet. That's pretty cool. It has all this. It says here's a link to our schedule, which is not. I mean, I guess we have that game, so yeah, that's true. They got it. They got us there. So yeah, and then you can actually get notified of the schedule. Oh, that's awesome. So I didn't even know that. So let's see if we choose. Oh, can't go back. Um, yeah, but so that's cool. You can click on this stuff. Now let's see. Let's see if it's like. Hmm. Let's see if it'll pick this up. Be great. Instigate. I don't know if it'll pick that one up. We're gonna test this on live. You know what I'm saying? Oh no way! Look at that. Thanks. We love the passion for the Hoosier State Instigators. Dude, that's awesome. I didn't even know it did that. That's awesome. And we got that live too. So like we can prove to everybody in the ABA that our tagline, our slogan, whatever you want to call it, it's good enough that you can go on the ABA site, just type in "Be Great, Instigate." It's gonna know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, let's see what the fan events are if we click that. I don't know what that one's going to do. Um, let's see if. Oh, okay. So championship weekend. Yeah, okay. That's what it is. Championship weekend. That's what it pulls up. Okay. Now here's an interesting one. Wonder if it's going to have players. So I'm gonna have to try to think. So we've had LB on the team a few years. So Lawrence Boyd. Let's see if that works, because he was on an All ABA team this year too. Okay, so maybe not. Oh look, but it does say find player profiles. Let's see if we can find it here. Okay, look up a specific player. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's try historical. Let's see if AB comes up on here. Okay, so maybe not. Let's see. We're gonna have to do like a current guy that played this past year on one of these teams. Um, let's see. Let's see. I wanna test this. So I'm gonna go over on their site and see who is like a leader in a stat category for last season and see if it pulls that way. Okay, we're gonna do Dominique Williams because he is the leader in steals, but he's also up there on some of the other things there too. So we're gonna do that. So let's see if that pulls up for the Louisville pros. Dominique Dom. Oh, wrong tab. Let's see. If this one doesn't work, then I'm gonna say that it probably is not set for all of the players yet. So no. I'm thinking. Okay, so that's what it looks like it is. The player profiles are not set up yet. But the teams are cool. So let's see. Like, let's try another team. Um, like, let's just say, let's do a funny one. So there can be only one. Let's see if what the response is there. Oh, never mind. It still thinks I'm talking about the player. So let's do like Well, we might as do the aces. So let's just do aces. See if it comes up with the Nashville Aces because they were the region champions last year. Yeah, so Nashville Aces. There you go. Nashville Aces tells you their division, why you should root for them, and why they were in the. Let's see if they have their roster on there. Okay, so the rosters aren't up. That's why. Um, Now let's see if this comes up. So the Lions Den for the Indiana Lions. I'm interested to see how this AI works. That's the reason why I'm continuing to mess with it. Yeah, look at that Indiana Lions. We don't have a dedicated Lions Den page, but they do have that. Oh, so that's cool. Let's see. Let's see the ABA knowledge on this one. Everybody love everybody. Okay, they went with that. That's fair. Absolutely, we believe in community cheering for every team and fan. Whether you follow, oh, look at that, we're the first ones on there. Who's your state instigators, the Lions, or any other clubs? So that's pretty cool. But yeah, just one last time, we're gonna show everybody in the ABA that you can say "Be Great, Instigate," and you know what happens is on the ABA site, it directs you to the best team, the Instigators. So go Instigators. There you go. Love the energy. Anyways, we're gonna stop messing around on there. Um, might as well. It's off season. So uh, actually, if you guys got stuff you want me to try, if I don't think we got a ton live right here, but next week leave it in the comments, and I will definitely copy and paste whatever you tell me to put that is appropriate to that AI chat box on the new ABA site. You can also test it out yourself too. So if you find one that's a funny response, tell me, and then we can figure it out and watch it live. But yeah, so that's a cool update that I noticed. But yeah, so it was a cool, fun experiment there we had, and I think that's really going to be all the stuff for tonight's episode. So new ABA sites. The Aces put their schedule out. And then for us, we've got some stuff coming up here to keep an eye out for. So in June, next month, keep an eye out for our social media announcements and posts. And then obviously on here, we're going to be talking about that too. So I would expect maybe some re-signings, players returning announcements. And then I would say probably a Trout announcement too. And then in the following month of July, keep an eye out for our upcoming stuff with Brayton Laster and Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. I think we're going to have some stuff on that for July. And whenever we have stuff finalized, you guys are going to hear about it. We're going to post about it, and you will see. But that is, as always, keep an eye out for all that. I do have to give you guys a scheduling update because I'm terrible at this. Um, I think next week I may also not be here for the podcast. But then following that, I don't know. We're gonna see. I have some stuff in the next few weeks. So I'm not sure if I will be back in time for either of those weeks to do the podcast. But if we have some big announcements, if I need to, even if I can't jump on live, I will pre-record something to get you guys the news and updates here. But I'll try to get back here on a more regular schedule. And then also your shorts, the highlights, all that. Keep an eye out. We're going to try to do that just about like once a week, I think is a more realistic time frame for me. But that's what we're going to be trying to do. But until the next time, as always, we want you to, and you can search this and see what happens over on the ABA site, and it tells you. But as always, until next time, be great and instigate.